Good morning, welcome to Beast Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint things. That is bright. That light is way bright. I don't think I can do anything about that. Maybe it's the angle of my TV. I don't know. Well, it's not a TV, is it? It's a monitor with a camera on it, top of it, and I'm speaking to people through it. Which, honestly, from my age, like this is the coolest thing, honestly, about the internet is the fact that like I can share what I'm doing with anybody from like I have people that watch this show from all over the world, and I think that that is like the coolest thing that could ever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being weird about it, but that's why I keep doing this. I don't make any money doing this. Well, at least I don't make any money from YouTube. I do make a little bit of money from some of the little shows we go to, and occasionally we get commissions and things like that. So we make a little bit of money here at the studio, but no, I don't make any money off of the YouTube thing, which is that's totally fine. I kind of do this as a, and so it's just kind of see how I progress in my own journey through painting figurines and miniatures and statuettes and busts and things like that. And other art projects we do. We do some other stuff too. We draw and we do other things here. So if you like that sort of stuff, give us a like and subscribe. Hang out. We're gonna get to working on Mando here in just a little bit. It is May 5th, so that's Cinco de Mayo for a lot of folks in the States and in Mexico. Most of it's for those of you who don't know about it, it's like it's kind of like an Independence Day thing for Mexico. Pretty cool. When I was a chef, we did it. Of course, we did a lot of Cinco de Mayo stuff, and that was way before anybody was doing any of this Revenge of the Fifth stuff. But I did want to give a shout out to Cinco de Mayo. I have a lot of friends of mine who are they're big fans of that stuff. And you know, I live in Oklahoma, so we have a huge Hispanic community here. They do some real lovely food. And it's a there's always a big festival here. You know, of course, everybody's probably excited because it's what is it, Taco Tuesday on a Cinco de Mayo. I bet you that there are a bunch of people absolutely falling over themselves for that whole concept. So, as a chef, I definitely would have taken advantage of that, and I would have taken all of your money that you would have let me have. But today, we're just gonna hang out and we're gonna paint. We're gonna paint some stuff. So, anyway, let's do that instead of me yapping. How much time have I gone in? Got it a little bit right. I had a little technical difficulties because I forgot to change the title today. But, so that's always fun. Being shaken. That big right there. So yeah, it is coming along. We are definitely getting a good look at a good start with our piece here. It is it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to finish them up. I'm back to working on in the background for those of you who see them. I'm just back to working on these guys. We did the two different color sets of those way back. So for anybody who wants to see how to do it, that's old World Eaters colors, the blue and the white, and then there's a more modern take on World Eaters. So we're gonna do those. See if anybody wants to take them home at the next big show. We were working on his helmet yesterday. Not working on anything if I keep dropping brushes. So we're gonna get back to that. So kind of working with the same color set here. It's just that Payne's gray and the blue, or the white. Payne's gray is the more yellow color we have here, or the more blue color. Golly, I'm having a bad start today. Brain is not functioning quite as well as I'd like to. Sometimes, I don't know. When I get tired from doing too much nowadays, I get to where my brain kind of starts not functioning as well as maybe it used to. I don't know if that's age. I don't know what that's from. You know, that's okay. Can you see back of it? There we go. Lean up into it. There we are. A little better. I gotta say something when you can't see anything. Not that there's probably many people watching, but or like I say, these shows are never really about. I was watching them now. I've said this a couple times now, and this is the neat part about this is that we get a lot more views on these studio vlogs way after them being released. I can tell who's working on what projects by what's being viewed, and I think that that's really neat. It just shows that people are using what I'm doing as, you know, a guideline to kind of make something that they want to make. And to me, that's like the greatest gift you could receive, is that somebody thought highly enough of your work to try and use it as an inspiration for their work. To me, that's just cool. Like, it's amazing. It's definitely, whenever I use a basis on somebody else's work as a basis for what I want to do, that's definitely how I'm feeling about it too. Is that, you know, I like their work so much that I feel like see if I can, yeah, that's a little better. I can still see there too. So it feels like you're giving a little like homage to this person. You're using their stuff as an inspiration. And I guess for some it could seem like it's stealing, but I always try to take it as, you know, people are being inspired by what I do, not stealing. Unless it's you know, AI, which if you're using AI to make art, you're probably stealing something. I hate to be that way, but it's just the way it is. I dabbled in it for a little while myself, so I also understand the fascination with it. There's definitely I don't know, maybe there's a place for it. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm an old guy and I'm just getting the old guyness to it. But I feel like AI should be left to do a very certain set of tasks. Like, we don't need AI taking over this. You know, I don't want AI painting this. I want to paint it. You know what I mean? Other people want to paint it. There's hobbies, right? Like why would you want AI to take over your hobby? Now, I understand that some people just can't draw or paint or whatever, and then that's fine. You know, I mean, that lets them have a little bit of fun. I get that. That's fine. But like when you start having, like, what was it? There was somebody tried to have like an AI actress on one of these video AI platforms. That's when you're starting to get into the absurd. Like, you know, if an actor decides to sell their likeness or whatever, I suppose that's okay. I was surprised to see that the mouse let Sora have their stuff. That was crazy. Now, but then, you know, Sora collapsed. So on the other side, where one part of this is like, oh man, it's horrible that the or whatever. The other side, it corrected itself. People just kind of did get tired of it, and now we're back to I wouldn't say square one, but we're definitely back to a little bit more of a. People still want real art, and I think that it'll all wash itself up in the end. I mean, people pay high premiums for things like hand blown glass and stuff, so there'll always be a spot for it. McBeardsly wants mundane stuff from his AI. Yeah, no doing. Yeah, I mean, if it's something that humans enjoy, like what's the point of letting AI do it? Now, again, like I said, I understand, memeing on the internet or whatever. I've kind of gotten where I'm like, whatever. Um, but there's some seriously like you're saying, meaningful art pieces and meaningful things that I don't know. I don't know that a robot could ever actually do anything but mimic it, since it can't have that lived experience. Like the robot doesn't get to have a lived experience like us. It's like, we would end up being like the dog to the robot. We would be, oh well, we're just gonna placate you because your time on this planet is short and ours isn't. So like, I don't know, you lead into some really seriously crazy ideas when you start giving robots just a little bit too much humanity to it. You could really, it could really get bad. And that's almost straight Payne's Gray. All these shadowed spots here. Yeah, I mean, like, because like you can't, if the thing can't die, then it can't truly experience what humans are experiencing. Like, we have to deal with death. It is something that comes to us all the time. And we even set ourselves up for death. We build ceremonies and religions around them, and so, we've been doing that since the inception of the probably the concept of sentience. Like, heck, there's other creatures that they think hold reverence for their dead when they pass. Crows will apparently gather and stuff like that for their own dead. And so, like, if it's something it's not moral, then you start coming with some. Oh, my poor cat is trapped outside. I gotta go let him in. I can hear him yelling like crazy. Poor guy. Okay, let me go get him real quick. Oh, buddy. James, buddy. Yeah, there's a bunch of different animals, I think, that do it. Here you go, kitty cat time. Yeah, little buddy. We bought him one of these collar things. This thing's cool as heck. So it's like a geolocator for the cat. And like it tells you when he gets too far away. Well, because this one's kind of a wild animal. The Siamese, she doesn't run around like he does. But he's crazy. There you are, floating up there too. All right, going. Anyway, cat break. Let's get back to it. Yeah, an air tag on probably. Yeah. This one's like, this one's a little bit different, and it's pretty it's hardcore. I want to get him. There's another version of it that has like a GoPro on it, so you can see where it goes and what it does. I think that'd be hilarious. are probably too big for this. Drop down. Right? I think it'd be great, especially out here, because there's so much, you know, because we got all this property. There's so much going on out here. You could almost have a YouTube that's just him running around. People probably watch it. Looks like it's going to be a crazy, crazy week. They started shooting at each other again yesterday. Just what we need. You're just trying to create little transitions, right? You're trying to... The better and tighter you get with these transitions, the better it ends up looking. Which is why it gets intimidating at first to try to do something like this. But then you kind of start getting, if you just go after it and just give it a shot, then you can start, you'll figure it out. I know you will. So just give it a shot, you know? Try it. You never know. Especially with, like, yeah, get a piece that you don't like and try it. You know, like, I don't really like this miniature anyway, or I don't like this statuette anyway. Let's do it a little pass it. Let's give it a try. Oh, you've been to A? Great. Yeah, Forgotten Labyrinth. Yeah, Vice is awesome. Yeah, awesome, man. Good deal. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I was gonna try to get down there today, but I'm not. My back is absolutely killing me. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it down there today. They're having their hobby night down there today. I'm kind of trying to get down there to do kind of some demos one day for that, but I've got, this is a very busy time in life for my oldest son, so I'm kind of wrapped up in all of his graduation stuff, which is exactly how it ought to be, honestly, y'all. I think that's one of the coolest parts about getting older is that you get to see your kids start going past you. My kid's definitely going to be, all my kids will be better at life than I was. And that's okay. There we go. Now we got it nice and tightened up like I wanted it. Yeah, they've got a lot of cool events down there. Like, yeah, they have a lot of fun stuff. And it's definitely like a games and hobby store. Like, it's not. There's a bunch of different things that they do beyond just games, and yeah, no, stuff like that where you got weavers and doing yarn and stitching and stuff like that. So they've got a bunch of different things that go on down there. So it's and Travis and Hartley own the joint. They're really nice people, solid individuals. So yeah, for sure. Tell them Pieces Pat Paints sent you. Oh shit. Oh man, wow, my bag is just absolutely murdering me. Time to check on the market. It is a scary time right now. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to the prices of tomatoes lately, but it's out of control, and the Nasdaq just keeps skyrocketing. It's. I don't know. I've paid attention to finance and history and stuff for a long time, and I do not like what is happening. But scared money don't make money. Hopefully, we pull it all out of there before they collapse the market. A lot of it's going to depend on if they can actually really broker any kind of real ceasefire. Also, might be another cool thing about this channel is like maybe in some future somebody is able to hear some of these current events from a normal perspective. Well, normal-ish. I'm very anti tyrannical. I didn't like it when Obama was being tyrannical. I didn't like it when Bush was being tyrannical. Didn't like when I barely remember Reagan, but the stuff I've read about it, I don't like some of the stuff he was doing either. So I just tyranny is bad for me. I don't like it. Spent a lot of money on Warlord. Oh yeah. The company is running it out of. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Edmund company making card games, huh? Had no idea. Well, shout out to them. Yeah, they've been trying to get me down there for a while. I'm not an easy fish to catch. It's a lot of it, like I said, right now in this time is I got a lot going on, and so it's really hard to kind of get anything started. And I got to figure out like exactly how. Let's put that down. So let's look at it. I got to figure out like exactly how I want to do the setup, because like demos, like you would have to have enough people there to actually feel like it was worth it, and then who foots the bill? Am I just making this out? Am I just doing it out of the kindness of my own heart, or is there some sort of and we've talked about this already, Travis and I, and it's there's got to be a way to kind of get some compensation going. But like, what's the best way to get people involved in something like that? So like, how do you go from start to finish on this, and how does it work? When does it work? Where does it work? Because like, you could have a sign up, but then if you don't get enough people signed up, we don't drum up enough stuff, then the people who did sign up, if I have to cancel because there's not enough people, then they get disenfranchised. or I gotta go and like basically do the show for, or do the thing for next to nothing or whatever it is. It's an interesting deal. I was thinking about, might be a way to do it is just have like a private tutoring services, private lessons. I don't know exactly how to say it. Mentoring. You could get it. So like if you bought a box, right, of miniatures, they could just give you a thing that says, "Hey, this is our shop pro. If you want to have some time with the pro, it costs you so and so an hour." Which might actually be the way to go. That's how you do things on like golf. If you're doing like if you want to learn how to play golf and you don't want to just go out there and play wham scrap, that scrap is not how you say that phrase. It is wham with an F word. I'm trying to tone that down in case, I don't know, we're getting pretty close to actual like a monetization level. We're only like, where are we? I don't even know how many followers I have anymore. What are we at subscribers here? We are at 480. So we're like 20 subscribers away from the first like rung of your monetization thing. So trying to start chilling it out in case they start listening, I guess. I did get a copyright strike on something. It was it was the big long marathon, because we were playing regular music through Pandora. But that whole thing, that was just for my boy anyway, and his team and their thing. So I don't really care. You can copyright strike it. But I don't want these to get copyright. That's why we play our own music. For those of you who don't know, I wrote this, I mixed this music for myself. We had SoundCloud or something like that I used to do it. For anybody actually interested in that sort of thing. We used to just use other people's free source music. Look at us now. I need to re-up my subscription on that and work on some more pieces of music. I don't try to claim I'm any kind of musician. I'm just a fan of music. Somebody texting me. They calling me. Yeah, they're real good people. And I've done some work for them. I've got to finish up actually this piece right there. This is theirs. I got to finish this up and get it down to them. I've been real. It's crazy when you start talking about getting high schoolers graduated and stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot more than I think I was anticipating, and not because it's going the way it was. It's definitely not going the way I would have made it go. But some parents want one thing and other parents want another, and you just kind of have to. Sometimes you just have to decide that it's just not worth worrying about it, and just let them enjoy, let them have their thing. Don't yuck their yum. I'm having to teach my son that right now. He's a little bit irritated with with parts of our family, and they're. But I think that's normal, for a teenager. And that's kind of what I told him. I was like, hey, when you get a little older, he'll kind of understand it. It makes a little more sense. You may not. You may choose not to participate in it more when you're older, and that's fine too. And you may decide you want to. You may decide that you were wrong now when you have kids, because like things change a lot when you have kids. Sometimes for good, sometimes for ill. Usually for good, though. Usually kids make people better people. But definitely not always. Some people are self-aware enough to know that they definitely don't want kids. And it's definitely fine. I don't judge anybody who does that, because it's tough. They'll have you thinking that you're losing your mind, man. And definitely makes you feel old fast. Like having kids makes you feel old fast. Yeah, every day. Yes. And then they have, and then they make a pretty good money off of just supplying the stuff you need to be when you're there to work on it too. So it's like, while you're there, oh hey, why don't you rent some time on our airbrush system? Oh, why don't you come buy some paints? Why don't you buy a little? It's good plan. Good plan. He's a smart cat, man. He definitely knows what he's doing. Especially for the clientele you're trying to lure in, because the kind of people that are like, you and your wife and me and my family, we're the kind of people that communal thing is a big part of what we're looking for. And he definitely understands and knows how to cater to that idea, which is smart. Real smart. Especially in a market like Oklahoma, where we've got a bunch of... Oklahoma City's got tons of great stores between Oklahoma City and Norman and Edmond, and Moore and all that. You got tons of great stores with some, really great people there. And I just got to figure out a day that works good for me to get down there and do it. And start dropping in and do some stuff. Oh yeah, he's coming along fast with that. Pulling that whole helmet out quick. Heck yeah, we're doing great too. We're only 35 minutes in. Awesome. Gotta take a break, stretch this back. I think it was sitting on those chairs. Not even chairs, actually. It was like bleachers at the robotics competition. Just metal bleachers, aluminum metal bleachers. I'm getting too old to do that for 5 days in a row. That's a lot. 4 or 5 days in a row. I can't even remember how many days it was anymore. And then driving all the way to Houston and back on top of all that. That was a lot. I'm trying to get up and move around. Stand up, because that seems to be helping a lot. But, I gotta be careful because my knee's also mad, so there's that. All right. also like how there's a lot of like separate rooms. You know, like you don't have, you're not. I like Game HQ. They've been around. They've been around for a long time. They do great things, but it's all one room. I love New World Comics. Really nice guy. Great store. All one room. But Travis's joint, multiple rooms. Yeah, definitely. Because that's how you keep people coming. You know, that's the kids. The kids will come down. Will go down there, and they'll spend money. You know, and because when they're old enough to buy on their own, you want to be able to capitalize on that market. That's why all your sports teams in the city have those kids days. They know more often than not that's their future fan base, so they're trying to make sure they secure it, which is smart business. I mean, honestly. Remember to breathe through this. I try not to blow at my brush though, because then it dries out the paint on it. Yeah, providing terrain is good. A lot of places are starting to do that now. I know New World does that. I know they do that. I'm pretty sure Dave's does that. Maybe. And then of course the Warhammer store up north does, for sure. But when I was a kid, man, there weren't hardly any like game stores like that. Like they didn't even Grey Knight, and then there was one joint down in the mall on the south side till they got broken into, and then Game HQ popped up, and then they've been the kings ever since, or at least the big kings. They've got the big space. They've got the biggest inventory, in my opinion. Although Travis is definitely catching up to him inventory wise. He's definitely getting himself a pretty good inventory over there. Which again, smart move. Smart move. Remember to breathe. And don't worry if you mess up. You can always fix it. Worst comes to worst, you can strip the whole thing. If it gets real bad. And I think they have like, you can sign up and basically play in like hire a DM and they're running a campaign and you can just jump in and play like professional D&D stuff, and it's pretty crazy. Okay, this is gonna be weird, but we're gonna take just a little bit of white. We're gonna do dot. And spread up just slightly. And that's gonna be like, bing, like shine off the top of his head. I have too much fun, I think, sometimes. Doing this stuff though makes it to where I don't miss cooking so much. It's definitely doing wonders for my mental health. Because I'd rather be chefing most of the time, but this really is helping me kind of fill that old void. You know, at least I feel like, and especially when people enjoy what we're doing, give us the likes and all that stuff. But even more so when, like I was talking about earlier, you know, you look at what's being watched and somebody's watching something from, you know, 2 years ago, and you're like, oh wow, and you see that they've watched like, you know, 2 or 3 videos on that same topic, or you know, for that same project, and you're like, oh wow, they're actually using. And then I feel that little bit of pride in myself, like I had when I was still a big dog. I was still a contender. I think sometimes you just start missing the thrill. There's a thrill of being involved, you know, and who knows, maybe doing some painting demos will definitely help with that. Or can help with that, I guess. That definitely maybe not the word. Kind of having the light coming like this way, sort of. So we're kind of trying to make one side of the helmet a little bit like the sun's coming, like it. That was not English. I don't think I actually spoke actual English there. I think I just mumbled something weird. Apologies. Oh my gosh. Just got to be super intentional with what you're doing here. So like I'm judging those strokes. I'm really trying to make sure I'm going in a direction to make it flow. There's lots of little bits to all of this, making things look like it's metallic without it actually being metallic. There's a lot more to it than you normally just think of, which I think is the allure of it. I think people like the idea of it because there is that challenge to it. There is a little bit of a master's mystique to it, if you will. Only the people that are really good at painting can do it, and it's not true. It's not true at all. I mean, you could learn how to do this just watching me on a crappy camera on YouTube. It's not that crazy. It's hard to do. It really isn't. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I think they will. They've got a pretty good fan base. Their Discord is pretty active. I have to sometimes I have to mute that Discord because it blows up my phone, so I can't keep up with it all. But I'm really bad with all that stuff anyway. I wish I was better at it. I could probably get more sales and stuff if I were better at playing the internet game. But I'm just I'm good at making people angry on Facebook, and that's about it, guys. And I'm good at painting here on YouTube, and then that's probably close to the end of my ability to handle and use the internet. But man, I make a lot of people really mad, and a lot of people really happy. I get a lot of laughs. I am definitely the kind of guy that's there to just make it seem absurd. Because honestly, life is kind of absurd, guys. Especially the life that we're leading in America now. I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but they have been trading water futures in on the open market on the NASDAQ for 6 years. Guys, they've been trading the futures of water, whether or not certain places downstream the Colorado River in particular are going to even have water or not. Now think about that. Because that ain't good. There's no part of that sounds good. These are the things that keep me awake at night, y'all. These are the things that make Pat's brain go, I don't like it. All right, now we're on to this little thing in the back. Whee! Oh. Second verse, same as the first, right? So, like, first thing you should definitely try to do if you want to try to learn how to do non-metallic metals is definitely learn how to do your edge highlighting first. Because if you don't understand edge highlighting, you're probably not going to be able to do this very well. You know, I can't wait to see the new digs once y'all get settled in. Or you guys are trying to get to buying something soon, aren't you? I have so many conversations about it at this point. I kind of keep forgetting the plan. And like I said, my brain is mush from all this robotics stuff we just got done. I can't. I'm surprised we made it home, y'all. My brain was that fried. Heck yeah, man. Mando looking studly. Yeah, that's the way to do it. You're doing the right thing, man. In this day and age, it's crazy. Plus, honestly, guys, I don't know. Guys and gals, ghouls. Something's got to break soon, okay? And so, like, what typically happens in these sort of situations is there's going to be some sort of, like, massive disbursement. Because what the rich can squeeze the poor for only so long before the poor finally just stop participating. And then when that happens, all the fake bananas and the leaves that you're supposed to trade for bananas don't matter. So like all that stock market numbers and all the currency in the world will stop mattering because the poor will be so poor that they don't have anything left to them but to revolt or start voting in people that will cause the situation to change. You hope that you can get to the we vote in people that will help the situation change. The problem is that I think there are too many forces manipulating what is being seen by everybody for that to happen. So I hope I'm wrong, but I might not be. All right, so we're gonna do. Golly, I can't believe he looks so good. I might work a little bit on this, a little bit more. I like the kind of the different colorations. I might pop it a little bit more. So, wait, he's starting to look really good. Oh, we're at about an hour. Okay, so this guy, let's go ahead and knock out a little bit of this thing. And yeah, for those of you who don't see my palette, this is what my palette looks like all the time. I'm always blending and changing things. So we have done nothing but use white and Payne's gray all day in varying different shades of it. That's all I've done all day. We have used two colors the whole day. White and Payne's gray mixed together. And I think that's where people it can seem intimidating for some people to be able to do it like this. So, that's why the game stores or the paint companies for games and stuff like that sell a bunch of different tones and colors so that you can guarantee your tone set. You don't have to rely on your eyes to try and mix the colors. And you can say, okay, this color, this color, this color. And you make a setup and it does the thing. And it's perfectly, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great way to go. I love to be able to really amp it up, take it up a whole other ass notch, really bring out every little bit I can sometimes, you know. So I do a lot of blending, making my own colors, making my own stuff stick out. I don't even know why I bothered zenithal this piece right here. There's no reason for it. I just did it out of, I think it was actually strays from when we were zenithaling him, maybe. I don't know. I do the zenithal, well, maybe I do know. I do the zenithal a lot of times so I can see what the hell I'm looking at. Because just that little bit of extra, sometimes is all I need to be able to see the base idea of what I'm trying to do. And I think I started on this one, and then I was like, why am I doing that? And that's why I quit. Because there really wasn't any reason to zenithal this thing. We're definitely going to have to hand paint every nook and cranny at this point to make it look right. That's a pretty solid start. You could actually probably put it on there and call it good and be okay. Yeah, you definitely, for anybody out there that's trying to figure out what the heck to do with their selves in this weird economy, in this weird time of life, just pay off your debts and wait. You don't want to get caught with a whole bunch of debt when all this goes belly up, if you can afford it. Because anybody who's on the other side of all this stands to make buku loads of money. If you can come out of all this with some cash in hand, you're going to be doing all right. Because it's gonna get worse before it gets better. That's usually, historically, that's a lot of how this goes. It's gonna get real. If it collapses, it will get back. That's a big if, guys. So let's all hope I'm wrong. This is the same thing. We're doing the same thing here, just kind of bringing up the edges as we go, bringing up the colors as we go. Hey, it's good to see you, Jared. Slowly getting things accomplished. Slowly moving along on this thing. It's fun to have hit some holiday stuff. We did a leprechaun for St. Patty's Day, which is like I don't know why I would do that to myself, but I did. And now we're here on the holidays for Star Wars and Cinco de Mayo for those who celebrate that. I want to make sure I'm hollering out to my Hispanic homies. Mexican. I think that's I think that's a specifically Mexican holiday. Although here in America, it's basically like a drinking holiday. We have a lot of these great. For those of you who don't live here in the States or have never visited or know much about it, America loves drinking holidays. I don't know why. Don't ask. I don't know, but they do. And so, like, if you give Americans an excuse to have a party and drink and eat a lot of food, we're gonna show up. Like, it's just, I don't even think any of us understand why we do it. We just do. It's probably like that in a lot of places in the world. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like it is. I feel like it's a people thing. But in America, like, we will do things like decide we need to deport everybody that's Mexican, and then simultaneously have a giant party because of the Mexicans. So it gets a little weird. It's weird. I mean, I don't know. That one always gets me. I'm like, wait a minute, where y'all are super in. Hey, wait. Because if for those of you who don't know Oklahoma, where I'm based out of, and some of the other folks on the chat here are, is that this is like a heavily controlled Republican area. So it's very, very conservative, very anti-immigration, and we have a huge Hispanic community. So when everybody's wondering, like, where are these Hispanics that voted for the current administration, I'm like, well, a lot of them are here, and I don't necessarily get it, but it's not my culture, so I don't know. My culture is I'm gonna fight you because I'm Scottish, so I that's what I do. I want to fight everybody over everything. I want to argue about everything. I want to have a fight about it. A banter, if you will. That's what a lot of us Scots call it. It's just banter. It's just banter. It drives poor Kristen crazy. She's like, I don't want to fight with you about it. I was like, I'm not trying to fight. I'm trying to banter. I don't want to banter either. Looking good. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bing, boom. I do all this back here, maybe. Should we do it? Oh, shit. I love how there's a little imperial symbol hidden under here. That seems ominous. Now, if you were to ask me if I want to do this with every model I do, I would tell you no. Does it look absolutely amazing? Yes. Yes, it does. Is it super time consuming? Yes. Yes, it is. Are the results worth it? I'll let you judge. The great thing about the base here is it's just a little bit. It's going to go a long, long way for us. We can kind of just get this thing over and done with. All right. Nice. Now I just got to figure out what to paint this other thing. I'm talking about like a gold color, I think. Alright, got some of that already on here. So we're going to take our burnt sienna, and we're going to go ahead and do that first. Make sure we're getting all that nice and covered, right? I don't want to have anything else going on. About to 3D print a weeping angel and a TARDIS die. There you go. 26 hours? Holy crap. How big is it? And filament or resin? That matters. yellers. Let's see. Deep. Alright, so cadmium deep. Cadmium medium. There's deep. Here's medium. This actually can be fun to look at. You can see the differences in the two yellow. I don't know that you can actually tell much on this screen, but it's like these are two completely different yellows. Yeah, you can tell. One's a little bit richer, darker. Alright, and then just a little Naples yellow for our highlights. And then everything else should be browns to get this to all work. So there you go, you can kind of see the doop doop doop. To get this to come out brown, golden color, which is kind of like that. Right? That little bit of orange underneath is really going to help this yellow pop off up here for us, which is exactly what we need it to do. Yellow is weird. If you've been on this channel for a while, you'll have heard this rant before. Yellow is strange. The pigment doesn't really hold very well, so its vibrancy when it dries goes down a lot. So you always want to have something under it, pinks or oranges or something like that. Otherwise you're going to be putting a million layers of paint to get it up there. So that's why we started off with what we did. This one definitely did need that highlighting to be done in order for this to work properly. Oh, I'm shaky. Oh my gosh! Whew! Ah, scared the crap out of myself. You go over there. Way away from there. Go away. Good lord. Oh, that was funny. A whole lot more shaky than I used to be. Trying to make sure I clear out any of that excess paint that doesn't really need to be there. Help sharpen up these letters just a touch. Now we're going to switch over to Naples. And even if it didn't necessarily look like gold per se, I definitely wanted this more yellow blend. For these letters, because everything else is so blue and so it's such a cool set of colors. Cool as in temperature. But we needed something a lot more warm in tone to really pop this whole thing off. Right? Okay. Heck yeah. It was great, right? Tarnished gold or sunsetty or see, Weeping Angel is about 7 to 8 inches tall. That's pretty good size. Dice Tower is 8 to 10. Yeah, that's a lot. Filament, yeah. And changing colors, yeah. That's cool, though, man. That'll be neat. I can't wait. Definitely post that so we can see it. Post it to Facebook or whatever. There we go. The Mandalorian. Well. Hey, we only went like half an hour over too. That's not bad. Oh, cool. I'll have to like take a look at it more. This last couple of weeks has been absolutely insane. With Cullen's robotic stuff, it's been nuts. Like honestly, all of spring has been a blur since between the robotics and the gardening and physical therapy. I honestly, I don't know where my spring went. It's already May. I'm like, wait a minute, it was just February. What happened? So yeah, this is the way. Yeah, it's cool. Sweet. Yeah, definitely. I'll check it out for sure. I'll go check out your shorts and throw some likes on there because that helps everybody. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody who made it by to watch this one. Turn this silly thing off. That didn't turn off. That didn't turn off. That turned it off. Oh, it's 2 lights that are doing it. This other light is doing it now. Here we go. Anyway. Yeah. Theater is crazy too, man. Especially when a season is in you have a show season. Oh, it's like months of just insanity. So, but yeah, we got to do it for the kids, right? They like that stuff. It's good for them. And that way we can perpetuate some intelligence among the species. Maybe. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Be careful out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to somebody else. Be good to people you don't know. Spread some good around. It's, shoot, we all need that, especially right now. So I think that's all I got. About all I got. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.